Hello and welcome to the Critically Curious on a Monk, and today, yes, we are in Crown Wars: A Black Prince, or The Black Prince. Now, in the last Crown Wars video I explained which troops and what troops I bring along in battle, and of course, more importantly, why I do so. I also gave a few examples of how I actually use them. What I thought would be a really good idea, however, is if you actually watch this in battle. Now, we got a little bit lucky with this battle. We're just in a random skirmish. I need to kill everyone around. Now, I brought along my 6 troops. Of course, I have leveled up my city a couple of times. I believe you need to be level 3 in order to bring along the 6 troops. Now, the 6 troops I have chosen is 2 alchemists, 2 Beastmasters, and 2 Crusaders. Now, when it comes to those Beastmasters, it really doesn't matter which ones you bring, that being a bear or a dog. In my opinion, as I mentioned, the bear is better because later in the game it does get armor. It does also have a slightly bigger health pool, but the dog is just as good. It can put on effects like slow, and of course it can inflict bleed to a person as well. Now, when it comes to the Crusaders, I did recommend the Warhammer and the Halberd. Although, of course, I did also recommend the Claymore as well. However, the Warhammer, the final perk you get with that gives a ridiculous amount of damage. So if you can stick with it, I believe it's the better weapon. And the Halberd, I explained just how good that thing actually was, but I do plan on showing you firsthand the effect of that. Being able to hit 4 times in a row with just your 2 action points, I think is just too overpowered. The other reason why I choose the Crusaders over the Duelists, for instance, being our main melee guys, is that they can also heal themselves and also give buffs to your team as well. I've also gone ahead and given my Beast Masters ranged weapons. This is because I think they work best as a ranged unit rather than a melee unit, especially as they already come pre-equipped with a melee unit, that being the pet that they get. Anyway, that's all the information. That's the recap. Let's get into the actual video. Now, we've just started the fight. Obviously, they're moving because they have spotted us. I didn't run into them at all. And now with a little bit of luck, everything's going to fall just right. And I'm going to be able to show off everything that I wanted to here. Now, the alchemists are so good because of the area of effect damage their attacks actually do. They have the ability to attack multiple targets at once, and they also have the ability to inflict a number of different debuffs depending on your choices. And I think considering you get 2 action points, you can really do some amazing combos when it comes to using weaken to weaken the enemies, and then fire to set them on fire. Then every turn they're taking that burn damage, or of course you can use the poison to make them do poison damage. And the fact that we're bringing along 2 alchemists means we can really mix up those combos and do some serious damage. So when it comes to turn 2, the enemy are already half dead. Let's also not forget that these alchemists are the perfect field doctors. There's even a perk that you can pick up, which is Field Medic, which means that your healing flasks work a little bit better. Now, I really like these units because they can heal from range. They can just throw one of those healing flasks at one of the companions that you need to heal up, and hey presto, they're back in the race. And while I'm not saying that these 3 troop types are the only ones you can possibly use, I do think that they work very, very well together. Now, the Crusaders, as I said, are your real damage output guys here. Their base attack, if they successfully attack 2 people in a line, gets to hit again. That's for only a single action point, meaning you can do that again, meaning you're hitting 4 times in a row, but not only to 1 person but to 2. It's a ridiculous amount of damage that you're able to do with those Crusaders, and let's not forget how tanky they are, meaning you can run them straight into that battlefield and they're barely going to take a hit because of just how much armor they have. Now, I fully understand. My troops are already leveled up. They've already leveled up their armor, for instance. They've already leveled up their own personal character. So they've got an increased health pool and they have got an increased armor. But you can tell they are the tanks on that battlefield, taking all of the damage that they can possibly receive. And of course, you mix that in with your alchemists, and they're just not getting injured. They can also heal themselves, which is important to note. And my favorite move when it comes to those Beastmasters is the very first ability you get. You simply position your companion, your pet, next to the target that you plan on hitting. You being a ranged target, it shouldn't be a problem for you to hit anyone you want. And of course, you're getting that extra attack, meaning that after that attack, your pet already lined up and in position still has 2 attacks, 2 action points to finish off that target or even move to another one and have another hit. These combos work very, very well together, and when you have everything lining up the way we just had, as you can see, we devastated an entire group of pretty decently leveled enemies very, very quickly, very, very easily. And what I like most about all of these combos is that they all refresh, apart from the Alchemist. The Alchemists do have a few limitations in a sense that you can only use certain things once and then you gotta continue. But ultimately, the Alchemists are very good ranged units as well. Now, we are bringing in 4 ranged units into a battle, but that isn't something to worry about when it comes to Crown Wars. There doesn't seem to be any kind of debuff when it comes to having your ranged unit right next to the target you're planning to attack. You don't get no accuracy debuff with that. You're pretty much guaranteed to hit them, which is really, really nice, unlike a lot of other turn-based strategy games. So that's something to keep in mind, something you may not know as well if you're coming in, because you're kind of coming in with that back knowledge that that's pretty much how it tends to work. But because of this, that is why I feel very comfortable bringing in 4 ranged units. And of course, the tanks and the Crusaders that we're bringing along really do act as, you know, that stopgap. You put them in between you and your ranged units and you're pretty safe. I should also mention that your pets, there's no consequence if they die. So for instance, if you're trying to get to an extraction point, you know, feel free to use those pets as a buffer, as you know, a distraction, allowing your main troops to get into the escape zone and of course shoot off back home. The pets don't have to live, they don't have to come back with you. There's no debuff whatsoever or reason to keep them alive. They're really there just to do your bidding. But there we have it, guys. That is just a quick video on combat. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something. I feel like it was a really good idea just to show everything in action, in a fluid action. If you have any comments, let me know down in the comments down below. We do also have an active and growing Discord, so if you want to join that and chat about this game, feel free. You can find the link in the description of this video. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been a Critic, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.